Hi everyone, Intuitive Edge. Welcome once again to my channel. Thanks for joining me. Let's talk about ETs, extraterrestrials, aliens. According to Reuters, nearly half of the global population believe in alien life, extraterrestrial presence. And that was about 7 years ago. I've been trying to find a more recent article on this. I would imagine that since 2017, that number has only grown. As of 2021, 65% of the American population believes in extraterrestrial alien life. So I would say it's safe to say that a majority of people now believe that we are not alone in the universe and that there is intelligent life out there and perhaps walking among us. There are some who are saying that contact with these extraterrestrials is going to become more prominent in the coming years. We may see more UFO sightings. We may see more people looking up at the sky and talking about things that they're seeing. This is what's coming. I know others have said this, and I happen to concur with this. This is the messages that I've been getting. So whether you believe in ET life or not, I do think that there are some things that are going to be coming up in the next several years, especially 2027. I have been intuiting some psychic messages as I've been tuning in. And what I have found is that there are some beings that are coming online and they have shared some information with me, and I want to share that here. So let's talk about two of the races who have contacted me. The two that have contacted me are the Arcturians and the Andromedans. Now, there are a lot of races out there. There's the Pleiadians. Then there's some of the darker races as well, the Greys and the really nasty ones, the reptilians and that kind of thing. Two that have reached out to me are the Arcturians and the Andromedans. Now, I did not even know anything about those races, so I looked them up online, and you can do a quick search. The Arcturians, interestingly enough, were mentioned by the late Edgar Cayce, the psychic of the early 20th century. And he talked about the Arcturians being a very highly evolved, highly advanced technologically and spiritually. They are a high-level spiritually advanced being, and they are interested in helping humanity. Evidently, humanity put out a cry of help, and these beings are responding in kind, wishing to help humanity evolve, help us to grow spiritually, and move us through some volatile times that we are going through in our own ascension process. The Andromedans are also a very benevolent being, and they were really interesting when they spoke to me about their purpose and what they do. I found it very fascinating, and I'm going to share with you what I was told. So the Andromedans are here among us. They do have, I believe, the little ships that look like a sombrero that kind of go out like that. Little disc ship with a little, that's what I was shown when I was looking in my mind's eye, okay? They are tracking certain malicious and malevolent beings that are also on Earth that really are not supposed to be here. From what I understand is some of the darker beings have been kicked off of Earth. However, there are still a few stragglers. and if they are connected to a human, then they are less likely to want to voluntarily move on. A lot of them have voluntarily moved on. This is what I've been shown. But there are a lot of stragglers. The particular Andromedan that spoke with me said that the darker beings, what I saw was, I'll just share with you my vision. What they were showing me was this. Think of the movie Predator. This was a complete lookalike of the Predator movie. This translucent being that couldn't really be seen, but it looked more like a mirage or like a translucent type of being. It came up out of the river near where I live, and this being was walking about. Now he's cloaked. Humans can't see him, but he is in proximity of them. And this being is walking around and walking up the streets of the city where I live. This is what I was shown. And he was just looking for something. Now, the Andromedans said that they do not interact with these beings. They don't draw attention to themselves at all, but they monitor where these beings are and then report back to higher up, whoever that might be. They report their findings back and let the other ETs know where they're lurking. And then I don't know at that point what happens. I have not asked, but that's as far as I got with that. So they report back their findings. Now, in this particular case, what this translucent predator-like being was doing, he was walking up the street and he would gain energy that he needed. He would find like a high voltage energy station, and he can somehow tap into that energy voltage and gain energy from it. Another thing is car batteries. I saw one going over to a car and literally pulling energy out of that battery and draining that car battery. So this is what these dark beings are doing. Then the thought occurred to me as I was seeing this in my mind's eye. The thought occurred to me, we've all known Nikola Tesla and others had figured out how to harness the ether in order to produce free energy. It made me wonder if the reason why free energy is being held so tightly under wraps is because it would not provide an energy source for these beings to exist here on this plane. That the moment humanity moves into free energy, their energy source dries up and they're not able to sustain living here. Another source of energy they get is when humans are in a state of terror and fear. That also produces an amount of energy that they can absorb and use to their benefit. The Andromedans' job, at least the ones I spoke with, their job is to monitor where these beings are and report back so that they can be dealt with by maybe an archangel or a higher being that has the wherewithal to remove such a difficult being. Putting it in our terms, the same would be if someone is possessed by a demon. It takes somebody who knows what they're doing to do an exorcism. You would want to call a priest. You wouldn't want to just try to do it on your own if you didn't know what you were doing. So this is kind of what the reporting back to a higher being that can deal with them and kick them off planet Okay, force them off, get them to out of here. I also saw insectoid beings that were I literally did not want to continue seeing what I was seeing. It's like, okay, can we be done with this? I don't even want to see this, because it was what I saw. I can't even describe. It just had huge legs, and it was about the size of a 3-story building. It was huge. And the Andromedans are also monitoring where those beings are and working to get those off planet also. So yeah, I won't go into too much of that. That was just disturbing. I didn't want to see that. So, okay, so here's what they also told me. And this may have come from the Arcturians. Again, they were kind of both coming in, Arcturians and Andromedans. The Andromedans really wanted to share. Let me just back up with that a little bit. The Andromedans are more like a scout. That is their job. They come in, they scout, they document, they report back. They're like a messenger scout. The Arcturians are more of the spiritually advanced, although the Andromedans are very benevolent. And they're all working to help humanity. They're more evolved than we are in terms of our collective evolution here on Earth. So both of those races are helping us, as are others too. Not to say that those are the only two. These are just the two that have contacted me. Okay. So what I saw was a bright light beaming down and hitting the earth, like boom, like a lightning bolt, but not a lightning bolt. It's just a huge column of light, just, and it just spreads out. And I think I mentioned this in a previous video. So people are going to be, suddenly they're like, I don't know who I am. I don't recognize myself. What am I doing? Feeling a little like, I just don't care about certain things that used to really make me, I used to really like this or that. Hanging out at the bar, going, doing things, whatever. I just don't care about that stuff. And it's going to soften people, make people, it's just like this huge energetic awakening that's going to be coming online. And what this is, how it was explained to me, is that this is a DNA upgrade. Now, humanity has had latent giftings. We have had so-called junk DNA, and we don't know what it's for. It's what the scientists have all told us. But we have abilities, and a lot of people don't realize the abilities they've had because it's been truncated. It's been hidden. It's like our DNA's been in a sheath. And what I saw is that there's going to be it's happening now. What the upgrade is doing is unlocking that cover that has hidden our latent abilities from us for millennia. And that is being uncovered and unlocked. And so what we're going to be seeing happen in the next few years, and it will intensify around the year 2027. This is what they told me. What we're going to be seeing are people coming into abilities that they didn't know they had. Abilities such as telekinesis. Telekinesis is the ability to move objects with your mind. Also telepathy. Telepathy is the ability to communicate through your mind. Have a conversation with someone with just your mind. These are going to start to really expand in people, as are other types of giftings too. It's not just those, but those will be very prominent, those two especially. With these enhanced abilities, many people are going to be not sure what to do with themselves. They're not going to understand what they're dealing with. And this is going to, what I was shown, create an opportunity in the coming years. There will be a huge opportunity for advanced teachers, human and otherwise, to come in and help humanity understand what their giftings are and how to use them. This is going to be a huge learning curve, and it's going to happen so quickly that people are going to have to really grapple with the gifts that they have, the talents that they have. I forgot to mention, there are others too. Humans will have the ability to transport themselves to other places. Bilocation is going to be, and I maybe that's the same kind of concept, but bilocate and teleport. Those also are going to be unlocked. These things are not coming down and being gifted to humanity. Okay, so take that notion out. That's not the case. What is the case is these are innate human abilities that have been truncated, probably by design, by races maybe who wish to control our species. What has happened is that energetic has been unlocked. So all of those gifts are now online. Think of it not as a download, but an upgrade. The way they explained it to me is, think about computers of 20 years ago. Think of Windows 3.0. Windows 3.0 would not work in today's modern computer systems. Windows NT. Those things went bye-bye a long time ago. Some of the older ones are basically gone. We don't use them anymore. They've been upgraded. Humanity is being upgraded. And we are not going to be just limited to what little capacity computers had 20 years ago. I'm talking like home computers. Now we have so much more available to us. And guess what? Starlink, just to be within the framework of ETs, but we have the ability to connect with the stars, both in our computing and in our physical connection with the others that are helping us in the universe. Okay, so that's how it was explained to me. It was also explained to me, like with what's happened with our DNA. It was like if you picture a banana. You peel a banana, you can see what's inside, but until then it's locked in and you can't see the inside of it. And that's how our DNA's been. It's been unlocked. And again, these are latent abilities that we've always had, but now we're coming online. Now we're discovering, oh my gosh, I have this ability. Now I don't know what to do with it. Many people will be baffled and not know what to do with it. So this is going to be a challenge, but also an opportunity for people to come online and be teachers. But I think that there are a lot of advanced souls who are coming in to help teach. It's going to be very important. And there's a huge market for that coming up. Probably starting around 2027 up to 2030 and kind of in that's when all of this stuff is really going to start to be coming online for people. And there's going to be that huge need for, like, somebody help me here. I don't know what I'm doing kind of thing. So yeah, courses, training, help, that's going to be fun. Fun, fun, fun. I want to share a story. It was a conversation I had with a friend of mine. I'm not going to use her name, but I was telling her some of this, and she's very open to hearing me out and hearing what I've been getting. And it's nice to have a friend like that. But I've been telling her about this. The messages I was getting was telling me which latent abilities that I have and that I would be using. I was thinking about my friend at the time they were telling me this, and they said, and for your friend, she is an earth healer. She can harness lightning, and she can send shockwaves through the earth. And they were talking about ways to send and work with ley lines, that you can send energetics. They recommended to send love and compassion through ley lines. You can also put up blockages so that any negativity would not be sent back along those same channels. Very interesting. So I sent her a message and I told her this, and she's like, oh my gosh, that really freaks me out. Because she said, I have a vivid memory when I was 4 years old watching a lightning storm on my grandmother's porch. And she said, I pretended that when the lightning was there, that I was controlling the lightning and I was sending the booms here. And she said, I had that vivid memory. And I said, well, that's because that is who you are. That is part of your DNA. You have that ability to control the weather and lightning. And this is simply uncovering your abilities and your gifts. That's all it is. What you already have the ability to do. So just be encouraged. This has gone out to millions of people. This is what I was told. Millions and thousands more every day are coming online as they are open to it. I was told that humans don't have to do anything. You don't have to fast for a week. You don't have to go into a deep meditation, although those things are probably good depending on your situation. But it's simply allowing. It is who you are. This is not something being given to you. It is who you are. It's just aligning with this upgrade that's coming online. Things that will accelerate this for you: a salt bath. Take Epsom salt baths if you can. If you want to connect in this way or want to have a realization of your latent abilities, ask for help. Ask to be shown what your abilities are. And then work with what you're given. Practice. This is practice time. This is getting to know ourselves in the version of who we've become. And version 2.0, now we're like version 10.0. We're really coming into who we are. And those older versions just, maybe they're just not accurate. They're not adequate for who we are now. So it's important for each person to find out their own gifts, their own talents. And again, you don't have to ask for it to be given to you. You already have it. Just ask to be shown what's yours. What is my gift? Do I have the ability to move objects with my mind? Do I have the ability to read minds? Can I teleport myself? What does that look like? This is going to take some dedication on people's part too, so that they understand how to use these gifts and not misuse them. And that's also going to be part of the training that people will need in the coming years, as well as how do we do this without hurting ourselves and others? That's a lot of power that's being unleashed into the hands of humanity. And it's very interesting that this is coming out now, right at the time when the world is volatile, things are crazy, and war and tensions are escalating. I'm thinking, is this really a good time to have humans suddenly discover their latent telepathic and telekinetic abilities? Well, obviously it is. You know, a higher mind than mine is orchestrating this. That's what I wanted to share. If this is out there, so be it. You know, I know it sounds nuts, but from everything that I've been shown, it's not going to sound nuts in a very short amount of time, because there's going to be a lot of people seeing UFOs, talking about sightings, and talking about alien contact. I am by far not the only person right now that they're reaching out to. I am one of a slew of millions, thousands, I don't know how many. But I'm just one little voice, and I've decided, you know what? If I look silly or goofy, it's not going to last long. I'm probably going to look like one of the sane ones in not too long from now. And I want to help humanity during that time when people are like wondering what to do. So I am going to work on that. That is what I want to be, as a helper and someone who can link and maybe even tell people what their gifts are. Because that came to me very readily from my friend. I knew exactly what her gifts are. So maybe I'll be able to do that. I will be able to help people. This is what your gifts are. You have this latent ability, and this is what you need to work on. This is going to take spiritual discipline, and it's going to accelerate our evolution and move us right in to a higher consciousness level. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me with this. I know this was intense. I hope some of you got something out of this. We are all evolving. And I wish all of you well. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.